Hey guys, very good evening to all of you. Today I will be talking about the cardiovascular diseases. The cause of heart failure are intrinsic pump failure due to ischemia, myocarditis, cardiomyopathy, metabolic disorders of the heart like beriberi or thiamine deficiency, and atrial fibrillation with flutter. Increasing workload on heart, increased pressure due to systemic and pulmonary hypertension, valvular defects like pulmonary, mitral, and aortic stenosis, and chronic lung diseases. Increased volume causing increased workload on heart due to valvular insufficiency, severe anemia, thyrotoxicosis, arteriovenous shunts, hypoxia due to lung diseases. Third cause is improper filling of cardiac chambers due to cardiac tamponade, hemopericardium, hydropericardium, and constrictive pericarditis. In acute heart failure, there is sudden decrease in cardiac output which leads to severe hypotension and thus cerebral hypoxia. In chronic heart failure, there is maintenance of cardiac output by cardiac dilatation, hypertrophy, and tachycardia. There is no hypotension, no rise in blood pressure, and edema, which eventually leads to edema. The causes of right heart failure are left heart failure, cor pulmonale, that is right ventricular hypertrophy with pulmonary congestion, pulmonary hypertension and valvular diseases, left to right shunt, myocardial disease of right heart. And the right heart failure can cause systemic congestion and edema of various organs. There is reduced cardiac output causing cardiac anoxia, cyanosis, and coldness of extremities. The causes of left heart failure are systemic hypertension, mitral and aortic stenosis, myocarditis, cardiac tamponade, cardiomyopathy, and restrictive pericarditis. Systemic left heart failure leads to pulmonary congestion resulting in breathlessness or dyspnea and orthopnea. There is decrease in cardiac output causing systemic hypoperfusion or pulmonary hyperfusion rather. Now there are two types of heart failure. One is backward, another is forward. Forward is left heart failure leads to systemic and renal hypoperfusion, leads to reduced blood pressure. There is activation of renin-angiotensin system. There is reabsorption of sodium and water, leads to pulmonary congestion and edema. In the backward heart failure, there is increase in blood in a left ventricle which leads to increase in left atrial pressure, increase in pulmonary hypertension, increase in venous return, increase in ventricular pressure, and thus there is systemic congestion and peripheral edema. The causes of left ventricular hypertrophy are occlusive coronary artery disease like myocardial ischemia, atrial septal defects, and patent ductus arteriosus. Causes with increased cardiac output are anemia, thyrotoxicosis, arteriovenous fistula, and beriberi. The causes of right ventricular hypertrophy are chronic pulmonary congestion due to uh, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, bronchiectasis, emphysema as a secondary cause of left ventricular hypertrophy. In the microscopic changes of hypertrophy and dilatation, there will be increase in fiber length of the myocardium, multiple foci of degenerated myocardium, and necrosis of hypertrophied myocardium. In the classification of congenital heart disease, there is malposition, which means dextrocardia. The heart is located on the right side. There are various left to right and right to left shunts and obstructive diseases. Left to right shunts are due to atrial septal defects, ventricular septal defects, and patent ductus arteriosus. Right to left shunt are due to tricuspid atresia, truncus arteriosus, Fowler's tetralogy, and transposition of great vessels. Obstructive lesions are due to pulmonary stenosis, aortic stenosis, and right ventricular hypertrophy and coarctation of aorta. The four features of Fowler tetralogy are ventricular septal defect, overriding of aorta, pulmonary stenosis, and right ventricular hypertrophy. Uh, In the acyanotic tetralogy, ventricular septal defect is larger than the stenosis, with mainly left to right shunt. There is increased pulmonary hypertension, decreased volume of left heart with no cyanosis. In the cyanotic tetralogy, there is pulmonary stenosis is larger than the smaller ventricular septal defect with greater resistance to blood from the right to left than thus resulting in cyanosis. Transposition of great arteries. Regular transposition means the aorta is slightly situated anterior and right side of the pulmonary artery. The aorta emerges from the right ventricle and the pulmonary artery emerges from the left ventricle. Corrected. In addition, that is due to the regular one, the superior vena cava drains into the left atrium, and the pulmonary vein drains into the right atrium. Persistent truncus arteriosus, the arch that separates the aorta from the pulmonary artery, fails to develop, thus comes out as a single output. There is blood flow from the aorta to the pulmonary artery, left to right shunt, and patient develops early systemic cyanosis. Obstructive diseases, coarctation of aorta, postductal or adult type, distal to the entry of ductus arteriosus, high blood pressure in the upper extremities, weak pulses, low blood pressure in the lower extremities, with cold and clammy skin with claudication. Preductal or infantile type, proximal to the entry of the ductus arteriosus, there is right ventricular hypertrophy with cyanosis of lower limbs. The upper limbs are unaffected. Aortic stenosis predisposes to calcification. It may be acquired in rheumatic heart disease. Pulmonary stenosis, most common amongst obstructive congenital heart diseases, accounts for about 70% of them. Coronary atherosclerosis, anterior left coronary artery, coronary atherosclerosis, and decreasing order of occurrence most commonly involves the anterior left descending left coronary artery, followed by the right descending coronary artery, followed by the circumflex left coronary artery. Angina means sudden substernal pain over the xiphoid process which radiates to the jaws, arms, throat, and the epigastrium. Stable angina, physical exercises and emotional excitement. It is relieved by taking rest due to chronic stenosing coronary atherosclerosis causes depression of ST segment in the ECG. Variant angina or Price-Mantle angina, sudden onset pain at rest not related to exercise due to sudden vasospasm. There is elevation of ST segment. Unstable or crescendo angina present pain even at rest or prolonged duration and very severe pain due to complicated atherosclerotic plaques, stenosing coronary artery atherosclerosis, vasospasm of coronary artery. There is no elevation of ST segment in ECG. Last, we shall see something about the myocardial infarction. Causes are myocardial ischemia, rupture of plaques, and roll of the platelets. Rupture of plates leads to superadded thrombosis and intramural hemorrhage. Transmural athermatous plaques involve full thickness of the left ventricle muscle wall, subendocardial myocardial infarction. Causes are myocardial ischemia, rupture of plaques, and roll of platelets. There is rupture of platelets with superadded thrombosis and intramural hemorrhage. Transmural myocardial infarction occurs with full thickness of left ventricle muscle wall. Subendocardial myocardial infarction occurs due to outer third to half. Location commonly in the left ventricle and right atrium. Stenosis of left atrium. The stenosis of left anterior descending coronary artery produces the infarction of the anterior wall, anterior two-thirds of the interventricular septum. Stenosis of the right descending coronary artery causes infarction of the posterior part of the left ventricle and posterior one-third of the interventricular septum. Stenosis of the circumflex coronary artery causes infarction of the lateral wall of the left ventricle. The early stages of infarcts are disappearance of perinuclear glycogen, swelling of mitochondria, disruption of sarcolemma, nuclear dissolution, and clumping of nuclear material. The chemical and histochemical changes are decrease in amount of glycogen, increase in intercellular lactic acidosis, hypernatremia, hypokalemia, and hypercalcemia of the cells. This was all I had to say about the cardiovascular diseases. Thank you very much.